Hi, it's Dia. Today, I am going to review and use Platinum Soft Core Colored Pencils. Now, this is a 72 set, and I just took the wrapping off, and I'm going to open it up and see what it looks like. Oh, I have to say, I really like the way they look. I would say they're about, I would say the barrel is about like a Prismacolor. They're covered on the end, and we'll check it out. We'll check it out and see, whoops, sorry about that. We'll check it out and see what it feels like, meaning what the lead feels like. The colors look beautiful, but we'll check it out right now. The image we're going to be using is from the buns. You can either get it on Amazon, on CreateSpace paper, or on Etsy on 110-pound artist edition stock. A lot of you have probably seen this picture before. I had been using Guanghui pencils for my interesting discovery vein. If you don't know, if you're just following me or watching me for the first time, you can take a Guanghui yellow and then you can color over it with green, and the vein just stays the way it is, and it's a super cool trick. I also used Prismacolors and I used polychromos pencils. So the picture so far is bright, it's vibrant, and I'm gonna add the platinum colors right to this image so we can get a chance to see what this looks like in comparison. So let's start off, first of all, with a mushroom. These were done, like I said before, with Prismas and polys, so let's give it a whirl. Ooh, I hope you follow me. If you don't already subscribe to me, hit that button below, because I'm going to be giving away this very gently used set for my June giveaway. Okay, so straight off the bat, I was going to start off with this color, and I was going to tell you what the color was or is, but I can't because there's no marking. There's no number, or there's no name. But onward we go. So I am barely pushing here. And I have to say, these probably feel like a mixture. Well, this color anyway, this yellow, kind of feels like a mixture of Guanghui and polychromos. They're a little bit, I don't want to say hard, but they're not that super, super creamy way that Prismacolors feel. I like how they're all lined up in the box. I think most sets are that way. And maybe it shows up a little bit more because the pencil barrels are kind of bone white, and the background of the tray is black, and then as you can see, there's silver and then the color of the pencil. So far the colors are relatively accurate. I know some pencils, there's a huge difference, so you literally have to have a color chart. We'll see how this goes. I would say it's covering really nicely. And I'm just going to go brighter and brighter, and I'm going to try to copy the other mushrooms as close as possible. At the end, I'll probably also use some blending material, whether it be terpenoid or just a stump, just to see how it works, how they blend together. So far, I like them. They're pigmented. I can't say they're as pigmented as Prismas or Polys, but they're nice. But then again, I don't think anything is as pigmented as those two pencils so far. I have to get the Holbeins at some point. I've never tried them. I've never used them. And I know that some people really love them. I just want to get them because of the pastels. But, of course, I will end up getting the whole set. And then, of course, review those. Like I said, I'm going to go darker and darker as I get closer to the bottom of the mushroom. I have to say, I really like these. And I don't really hear a lot of people talking about these pencils either. And I ordered them because they were on a lightning sale on Amazon. And the 72 set was not a lot of money. I can't remember what they were, whether they were $14 or $19, but a very good price for that many pencils. I mean, and of course, if you spend that much money and the pencils are bad, it doesn't matter how many pencils are in there. But so far, the pigments are really nice. They go on relatively creamy and smooth. And I like the pigment. Let's go even darker. I'm not pushing that hard. This one came out of the box a little bit cracked, but that was the first one. And looking at all the other ones, I don't see any other pencils that are cracked at the tip. This was delivered from Amazon. And I've heard in the past that some people have had problems with certain pencils being delivered cracked. But so far so good here. Okay, I'm going to go 2 more layers dark. This one goes a little purple. Maybe not purple, but maybe plumish. I don't know if I hate it. And then this one, the darkest burgundy, like over here. I'm going to use this pencil color also to darken up the creases. Or the cracks, I guess, at the bottom. Okay, looking back, obviously this one has more yellow on the top, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to add some more pigment to the whole thing. I'm going to go over the top of all those colors with this darkest burgundy. Now you'll still be able to see the oranges, the yellows, and the other reds through this, and it'll be a nice, rich, layered effect, and, well, hopefully. And we'll see how this mushroom compares to the Prisma and the poly mushroom. Oh, you know what? As I was driving before, I was thinking of how I started doing art when I was very young. My parents have pictures of me in the house with a magic marker, and I basically drew all over everything. My mother has pictures of me with her bright red lipstick on her brand new Danish modern couch, her navy blue couch, and I decided, I guess, that I was going to decorate the edge of the, well, the arm and the edge of the couch. And she said she couldn't even be mad because I looked so happy. And I think that it just started from there. So those thoughts led me to thinking, you know, how did this whole thing begin? Because I went to school for business. I went to school for hair and makeup, and there was always like a burning desire to do art. I always drew pictures. I always wrote stories, and I'm telling you this because I also want to tell you that you should always follow the things that you're interested in. Okay, so what I mean is, after I had my son, I was basically a stay-at-home mom for a while, and I signed up for every single thing at school. If somebody needed posters, I made the posters. If somebody needed banners, I made the banners. And people started to get to know that if they needed any of this stuff, to call me. So doing all this, my son saw me doing all this too. So he decided that he wanted, at 6 or 7 years old, to take a computer drawing and designing class. So I dropped him off at his class and proceeded to go into Manhattan because I wanted to see the gates. I don't know if anybody remembers the gates, but it was these beautiful, almost like downward draping flags all through Central Park. And I was so sick, I had pneumonia, and the gates were coming down the next day. And there was not a person around who wanted to go into Manhattan with me. So I decided I was going to go because this was going to be it. It was either today or never. So it was freezing cold. I was coughing all over the place, but I went anyway. I walked around as long as I could through these beautiful orange flags. And then afterwards, I went to the Met because I still had some time on my meter. So I'm going to interrupt myself for 1 second. I have to say, so far, I like these pencils. Okay, so back to the story. So many years ago, when you went in, you got a little kind of round coin-shaped button that you could pin to your lapel so they know that you paid. So after I left the Met and got my fill of art for the day, I drove back and picked up my son from his computer art class. And the owner of the computer art class saw my little Met button and asked if I liked art. And I said, yes, art was a big part of my life. And she said, "Do you do art also?" And I said, "Whenever I can." And she said, "Are you any good?" I said, sometimes at some things I am." So she asked me if I would do a demo because she needed somebody to help make the images for her books that the kids were going to design. So on the spot, I drew a frog, I drew a turtle, and she really liked them. And she also hired me on the spot, and I started to do the drawings for her. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because I feel like I want to tell you, if you're interested in something and you really like something, I'm sorry, I keep stopping because I'm talking with my hands. If you really like something, you should do the thing. And not just the things that are going to help your career or are going to definitely point you in one specific direction. If you have an interest in something, like I did that day, I wanted to go see the Gates, and I wanted to go to the Met. If I didn't do that, I don't know if I would have gotten back into art. I don't know if my career would have taken off, because I started to work for her. And then after that, I decided I was going to take a train to Florida when everybody else was flying. And it was another one of those serendipitous things where I met authors on the train. So then they inspired me to write. So yes, I currently write children's books, and I design coloring books. And it was just one of those things. One thing led to another. So I'm going on and on a little bit here, but all I'm trying to say is, if you have an interest, follow that interest. Just do the things you like to do. Don't do what other people think you should do. Don't do things that you think you should do. Follow what you love. So that's my speech for the day. It's just that you'd never know what the thing is that's going to stick or connect you to something else. So you can see that I have moved away from the top for a second because I just wanted to add some of this area to the bottom. Whoop, let me readjust this. I'm not used to these pencils, so I'm not quite sure which one, like which color is going to look like what. So I'm looking for a shadowy kind of gray color. And my go-to a lot for shadows is regular graphite. So that's what I'm adding here. I also used it here. I would say this is a little more warm than this over here, but that could just be because I'm not familiar with the shades yet. Here's a gray from this set. I'm going over that rather dark burgundy color. I think I can see a little bit of depth there, but not a crazy amount. Let's see what color this is. Here's a darker gray. way, I'm able to go over the top of the other layers that I've already put down. I would say that these pencils are a little bit more, I can't say they're transparent, but they're a little bit more transparent than the Prismas and the Polys. Let me see if there's a neutral kind of beige color. Let's say the closest thing is this gold shade. I don't have a problem using the gold because many times the gold pencils that come in a set aren't super metallic anyway. And this might be one of those cases. And I'm going over that with the darker gray. Now down here I should have started with a more neutral. It is a little gold versus mushroomy. I'm going to go over that with the light gray. And I think I'm going to take a brown, like a reddish brown here. Well, this pencil was in the brown row in the set, but it looks a little more burgundy than brown. And this is adding some nice dimension and depth to this mushroom. Drawing a little bit of a shadow there. Okay, these are surprisingly nice for the price. I would say they're creamier than the Guanghui pencils, possibly slightly more pigmented, but obviously there's not as many in the biggest set. The Guanghui set goes up to 162, and I'll have to double check, but I think that the biggest set here was 72. No, I'm sorry, I think the Guanghui was 168. Okay, let's take the black. Oh, no, that's dark brown. This is the black. Goes right over the top. Yikes, these are nice. Ooh, I love when I get surprised like this. A little bit darker around the edges. I cannot complain about these pencils. All right, let me take a stump. The noise you hear in the background is me trying to get a little bit of the dark off. Blend nice. Not bad. All right, let's try the green. Ooh, the first thing I want to do is that test and see if I can recreate that Guanghui. Now, this pencil is very neon. Kind of like the pencil that I was using over here in the center. Ooh, my fingers are crossed that it will do that same trick. All right, I'm going to start with a relatively light green. I would probably call this a spring green and go right over the top. Yep, it works. I just love that trick. Now you can see here that there's a little bit of dust when I first start using it. And then once you kind of start really getting in there, it doesn't crumble. Pretty. Okay, let's go a little bit darker. See if that trick still works with a darker pencil. Yep, let's go darker again. Yep, right over the top. And let's go with a real dark one, like a tealish. You can see that you can go over and layer. I can't say they layer as well as the Prismas or the Polys, but they're not bad. Now the greens, I can say, aren't as smooth as the reds and the yellows. They're a little bit harder. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to color the bottom here with this Kelly green, and then I'm going to go over the top with a darker green to see if we can get some nice layers. I'm not doing this perfectly. I just want to get this filled in so we can see. Okay, I'm pushing relatively hard. Not quite burnishing because I don't want to completely get rid of the ability to draw on top of it. Okay, let's see what this color is. Okay, I would say this is probably a dark teal. Yep, I can do it. Let me get one more green. Let's see if I can do it with a different green. This is not the neon. I'm just doing a little experiment here. I'm trying to see if it's only the neon greens that have that ability to show through. Nope, this works too. Now, I just said before the greens aren't as smooth. This green is super smooth. So I think that you would be able to create beautiful pictures with this set. I think there's enough colors. I think the quality is nice. Let's go over the top of this one, see if we can get a nice burnished look. Let's see if it blends nicely. It does. All right, let's try some browns. Just do a tree. You know what? I'm going to start with the light gray. Oh, here's a tip. Many people automatically grab brown for trees. If you look at a tree, you'll see probably mostly grays. I mean, if there's moss on the side of the tree, you'll see some green, but you'll see mostly gray. And in the areas where the bark is separating or a little bit, I don't know if the word is veiny, but in the areas where you notice the bark, that's probably where you would see the brown a little bit more. This is too red. Let's see, let me get a real, let me see if I can find a neutral brown. For the bark of the tree, I would also try to find, oh, this is also pretty warm. Let's try another one. More neutral. Let's see. This is probably more yellow. Okay, so the browns are very warm in this set. So what I would probably do is go in with some wheat colors. I wouldn't necessarily worry about being perfect about this whole thing. And then I would take the gray, darker toward the bottom because the shadows would be closer to the ground. And then over the top of the wheat, the lighter gray, I would add some bark details. And you don't have to make all the details like I do. I have a tendency to get, well, not a tendency. I like all the details. I like to be real fussy, and I like it. I like to spend the time and do all those little intricate things. You do not have to. But if you want to, here's the way to do it. You can see that it's starting to give the illusion of shadow. Now, where's that darker gray? Darker gray underneath. There are 3 grays in this set. A light, a medium, and a dark gray. And I would say they're neutral. I'm going to leave the area a little bit lighter here because that would be the lightest area. That would be the area that would get the most sun. Okay. Was able to create a nice tree texture. Let's see. I don't think that I would use blue in this picture because it seems like it's deep in the forest, but I'm going to add a little bit. I can always go over the top with a darker color, but just so you can see some of the blues. This is a really nice sky blue. This is the lightest blue in the set. Let's see. I would say this is a different tone. This is probably slightly more turquoise, but you can see it's in the same range. Depth range. Now this one's a little bit darker. And this one is probably, what color is that? Like a Caribbean blue. Not too turquoise. Is this a blue? No. So that's it for the blues in the set. Oh, wait a minute. I think I may have just lied. Let's see. Nope. Okay. This is a darker. This is a navy. it was sort of mixed in with the purple, so I couldn't tell. This is a purpley blue though. And let's see what these are. Oh, here's another blue. And for the final, okay, so you get about 6 or 7 blues in there, a nice range. They're all super creamy, very nice. Nice variety of reds. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pinks. Let me switch pictures. Let's do a pink and orange before I go. Let's see. Let's just take this picture right here and see how it comes out. Okay. This is a light pink, but it's very pigmented, very nice. This is also a different surface. This is Create Space paper, and it's covering really nicely. I have to say I like these pencils. I would definitely recommend them for the price. This one's even lighter. What would I call this? This is like a blush. Now this one isn't as smooth as the other one, interestingly enough. Let's go to the next color. This is a sort of a lilac pink. Super creamy, super soft. Love this color. I wish they were named. I think I'm going to have to name them and make a chart. Let's see what this is. This is, I would say like a light fuchsia. Also super creamy, very pigmented, very nice. Light carnation. Let's say this one is peach. Peach or apricot. This would be a very nice skin tone, a light skin tone at that. What's this? It looks like from the top like a creamsicle kind of color. These surprise me every single time. I look at them and I think they're going to be dull or unpigmented. Once again, super nice. They go over the top of the other colors very nicely. Here's a tangerine color. True fuchsia. actually probably more like magenta. Let's see how this goes over the top of the other pencils. Nicely. This is probably the more fuchsia one. Or bright berry, possibly. And these are some burnt oranges. I'm going to add one or two of the purples. And then I'm going to call it a day. Now, I could tell you that I would definitely recommend these pencils, especially for the price. Once again, I'm not comparing them to polychromos. I'm not comparing them to Prismas. But you would definitely be able to use these and make beautiful coloring images with them. If I was going to have to explain, I would say that they're more polychromos versus Prisma. The Prisma is super creamy. These hold a point better. I would say they're more intense. They're more vibrant than the Guanghui or the Filas. I like them. I would definitely use these again. So that's it. That was my relatively quickie review of these Platinum 72 soft core colored pencils. Oh, you know what? I didn't look. Let's see. What are these? Before I go, I'm going to see if they're oil or wax for those of you who are interested. Hold on, I'll be right back. So I looked, but I can't find if they're oil or wax. Okay. Let's see if this works with Turpenoid. I dipped the end of the brush here. I should say the stump. I'm going to do it again. And this definitely works nicely. I hope you can see this. It's blending super smooth. So yes, I would recommend Turpenoid with this 100%. Meaning if you like that look. Perfect. Okay, that's it for now. So I also looked up the price. They are $14.99 for a 72 set of these Platinum 72 soft core colored pencils. I would definitely agree. I would say the cores are soft. I had a really good time using them. I would say that 72 set, like I said before, would I would say work for any picture. The colors are bright, they're beautiful, they're vibrant, they're blendable, and I would highly recommend the 72 set for $14.99. So that's about it for now. I hope you subscribe to me, because I am going to be giving away that platinum set of 72 pencils. What's today's date? Within the week. So once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. And that's it. Congratulations to our last winners for the last giveaway that I did with Anne from A Colorful Life. And hopefully I'll be able to do another collaboration soon. Thank you all for being here. I'm so glad you're here, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Okay, final bit of info. I was just going to doodle around while I was thinking about the next video, and I found out that the areas that I went over with the Turpenoid, if you go over them again with these pencils, it's amazing. It's so soft, it's so creamy, and you can go over, it seems like, as many times as you want. So I would highly recommend using the Turpenoid to blend and then going over the top with whatever color you want. So once again, thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.